Okay. Hello, people. You're welcome, Peter. So I am just waiting for Mr. Bernard to join us today. Welcome, Deb Chaser. MC Yinks, I see you. You're all welcome. Okay. So we've got Mr. Bernard on the call on our live show. Hello, Mr. Bernard. So I'm gonna try and call Mr. Bernard. Okay.
Yes, bro.
Yes. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How's it going?
Not too bad.
Yeah.
I'm a
Looking
little
good, man.
bit.
Lockdown's keeping you alright, bro.
You're looking fresher than I am.
Nah, come on, bro. Yo, how are
You
you,
doing
though?
good?
Yeah, not bad, my bro. Not bad.
That's great. Okay, so I'm just gonna kickstart. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go when you're ready, bro.
Okay.
Can you hear me properly?
I can. Yes, I can. I just
Sweet.
put my volume up just in case.
Sweet.
Lovely. All right. So, good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thanks for joining us today on the first episode and the first live session of Talk to Me. With myself, I'm going to be your host. My name is Abby, aka SBM. Okay. And I am glad to have with me here today somebody who's, has been a friend for a very long time, he's a great person. He's a great man. He's a community engagement officer, a poet, a musician, a youth mentor, like I said, a good friend, and an all-round gentleman, I like to think.
Man, you got me blushing,
Join me, guys.
I didn't know I did so much.
In welcoming Mr. John Bernard. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man, bro.
Thank you for joining us today, and thank you guys to the audience for you guys for joining us on this live today. So yeah, welcome, John. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the program. Yeah, what a challenge 2020 has been. 2020 has been quite a challenging one, hasn't it? And we're hoping for a better 2021. Since the last time myself and yourself spoke and saw each other, how have you been?
But it's been a while, hasn't it? It's been like at least 5 years.
I think so.
Not gonna lie, yeah.
I think the last time I spoke to you, yeah. I think it was after I made a particular song and I wanted to do a remix to it, and I told you that I wanted you to jump on the remix, but
that's it. When was that? That was like literally 2000 and I'm guessing 16, 17, bro, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably.
Yeah, wow. It's been a while, man. It's been a while. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, a lot of things have changed, bro. Yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. Got married, had kids. Yeah, became a family man. Things. Yeah, just started a social enterprise, working with young people in the city. Started pursuing my music and my poetry a bit more as well, and just been pushing myself to achieve, you know, as much as I can in every given year. So that's been really like the journey so far, bro.
Somebody's saying congrats in the comment section. So yeah, definitely congrats
Love,
on
man.
that.
Appreciate it.
So some people have been, you know, taking different activities, you know, such as exercises, maybe baking, going for a walk, in order to keep themselves occupied mentally and physically, you know, during this this trial time that we're in. What has helped you, you know, deal with this, you know, challenging time?
Do you know what? It's been a mixture of things, bro. The first lockdown, it was one of those things where you didn't really know what to expect. So
Definitely.
it was kind of, and at that time I was working a lot. So it gave me some time to really be at home and just enjoy that time with the family. So the first lockdown was kind of, you know, wanting to be at home, wanting to spend time with the kids, my wife, and just, you know, just kind of like forget everything and just have those moments. And you were hearing a lot about people that were dying and so forth and so on. So it was kind of like, you know what, you utilize this time to kind of, you know, have some family time. And then the second lockdown, I remember, I think the gyms were open for a bit for the second lockdown. Yeah. So I was kind of utilizing the gym more and just started gymming a lot and just exercising. And then this next one, it's been a mixture of things. This one's been a bit more, you know, tougher in essence. So, you know, I've done baking with the little ones. I've done, you know, jogging, working out, you know, reading the word. And, you know, just writing as well, writing as much as I can in terms of just putting things to paper and seeing what's going on and, you know, how as an artist I can reflect the times and try to sort of inspire and motivate people who are, you know, in worse circumstances, you know. So, yeah, for me, it's been that desire just to try to release as much art as I can, but then like edifying art that can kind of push people to do more. So that's been my sort of thing at the moment. What about yours?
That's really great. That's really great. You know, you said something about, you know, going to the gym when the gym was open.
Man,
I actually lasted a week on that one.
Really?
I think I lasted a week, and then because I got busy, just like yourself, I got busy with work as well. You see, so you know, finishing work, because I work within the health sector as well. Yeah. So finishing work quite late and, you know, having to go to gym, and I just want to go home and, you know, rest before work the following day. But yeah, I can see the gym's definitely worked for you though, you know.
Not yet, bro. Not yet. Don't gas me. Not yet, bro. It's food, bro.
No, that's really good though. You know, it's good to see that you've done something to occupy yourself, you know, physically and mentally, because it's very, very important, you know, because I feel like with the, you know, the first lockdown, people were not expecting it, but they kind of managed to adapt in a way. And with the second one, it was like, okay, we're going into it again. I need to really prepare myself because I don't know how long this is now going to last for. Yeah, I did my best to, you know, to try and keep myself mentally, you know, involved in different things as well. You know, I personally, I bought like a studio equipment that I was playing around with, you know, trying to, like a home studio equipment, and, you know, just try to play around with it. And, you know, that was quite good. It was quite a good experience for me.
That's a really good shout, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, talk to me before we talk about your poetry, which you may be more known for now. Let's quickly touch on your music front, you know, which I personally knew you from growing up together, you know, back in the days. What's the update with, you know, your involvement with music?
I'm still doing music, bro. Like it's weird because, you know, people are, oh, you've quit music. Well, why have you quit music? And it's never been that. It's not that I've quit music. I feel like for me, it's combining the both. You know, I've always been doing both throughout. Like I've always said, like I've always from the initial step of me starting to write and all that kind of stuff. It was from you know, writing poetry. You know, because that kind of helped me to when I started writing when I was 8. So that kind of helped me to kind of build a gift for, you know, like the music side of things. So it's not like I left music. I've got music stuff out as well and music stuff coming out as well. So it's one of those things where I feel like poetry, for the time where I was at, because I got heavily into doing poetry when I was at uni.
Yeah.
And I feel like what poetry kind of gave me was the capacity to, you know, to really just speak out, man. No beats, no no drums, nothing. Just you just going in. It's just you, the mic, and your words. You know. So
definitely.
people took it differently, and when I saw that people took it differently, I knew like that was a perfect engagement tool. You
Oh,
know.
that's
So
great.
yeah, but I still, you know, yeah, I still do music, man. Definitely.
So, with regards to the music, would you say the content of your music has changed? Because, like I said, we kind of grew up together, and I
Yeah.
knew the music.
Yeah.
And when we were growing up together, we were like out there, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
before I started making like gospel music, and
Yeah.
that. What would you say the content of your music has changed, or would you say it has always been the same?
No, it's definitely changed. It's definitely changed. 100%. From the time where, you know, teenage years, I think leading up to probably like 19 or 18, 19, you know, it definitely, I was in a mad mode. So, so
Definitely.
it's definitely changed, man, in a heavy way. But I think that that's a lot to do with, you know, revelation and understanding the gift that we, you know, you have as a musician, as an artist, as a writer. You know, it's more so, like Nina Simone put it, it's more so to reflect the times, man. That's your duty to give somebody something different, something, a substance. You know, because we all know, like, if you're feeling down or you're feeling a certain way, you put in a song that you like, and those words can speak to you. You know, and I feel like having that revelation of, you know, first of all, you know, that gift stems from something, and somebody gave you that gift, you know, and it's for a reason and a purpose. You know what I mean? And you know, the purpose of you using that gift determines the legacy you leave behind as well. You know what I mean? So, so for me, that revelation kind of played a significant part in what came afterwards. You know? So it's like what Paul talks about leaving like the old boy sort of thing and becoming a man, that sort of mindset change. You know what I mean? So
Definitely.
And it's growth as well. You know, there's certain things you can't talk about. Like you can, but I think there has to be a level of growth. Like Jay-Z doesn't talk about the same things he talked about when he was 20. You know.
Would you say that depends on who you are? Like I said, you know, the level of growth and who you're growing to become, because you know some people still grow, you know, become adults, but they're still talking about the same thing musically, if that makes sense. You know, the same thing they've been talking about from when they were growing up, and they're still talking about it. So would you say that depends on yourself and your conviction?
Definitely, bro. Definitely. I think you have, as an artist or as a person, I feel like whatever gift that you have, you kind of have to determine, you know, what it is that gift is going to do in terms of what would you like it to do, and you know, and how would you like it to be perceived. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like whatever gift you have, that's the focal point that you kind of have to put in mind. People can be gifted in football, but then you know how footballers utilize what comes with football is different. You get some footballers that use their wealth to build stuff and to do things and whatever, and others who do completely different. So I feel like it's just about having, you're right, conviction and a level of understanding of, you know, what do I want this gift to do and how do I want it to be perceived. So
That's great. So you mentioned about going uni earlier. So, and that's probably the reason why we haven't seen each other for so long as well. So would you say a lot changed for you when you went to uni? Would you say uni changed you?
I wouldn't say uni changed me, but uni had like a place in my life. It was like a step I needed to. I said needed is a strong word, but it's a step where my eyes were open quite a bit more as well. You know, I feel like uni provided me a place where I learned so much, and certain things that I couldn't put to words when I was seeing them in the ends and, you know, where we grew up and certain stuff, and I couldn't put it to words and I couldn't understand why things were. You know, and you read about certain things and you're like, oh right, that's why things are like this. Oh right, this person's going through this because of that. Oh, that's the term for that. You know what I mean? So I was able now to be more expressive and understand, okay, so this is how things work, you know. And I studied sociology and international relations. So it really opened my mind to a lot of things that, you know, that now I want to bring back to the younger lot, you know, for them to see it, for them to look at like, this is not coincidental. Certain predicaments and certain situations we're put in, you know, or how we perceive is not coincidental. You know, there's a narrative, there's a discourse, there's a whole lot of books that have been put in place just so you know you're viewed a certain way. So so it opened my eyes a lot, bro.
That's great. And you know, definitely. I feel like, you know, when you're out of the box, you see a lot of things. Because, you know, when I went uni, I saw myself. You know, I look back and I see that things shouldn't be the way they were, or, you know, a lot could be changed in terms of how we grew up and, you know, the things that we were doing. So yeah, definitely, I understand where you're coming from. So you've been married for a few years. Congratulations again. I did not know about the kid though. Wow.
Yeah.
So again, congratulations on that one as well.
Thank you.
You are still a relatively young man, and, you know, being married can be a big step. Can you share with us, you know, your thoughts on how you arrived at taking the, you know, the step at the age that you did, you know, to go into that?
Yeah, I think, you know what it is. I feel like, you know, with our generation, we have like prolonged the whole thing of marriage in terms of like, you know, you're not expected to get married till like 30, 35 and all this kind of stuff. Where back in the day, back in the day, people were 18 were getting married and so forth and so on. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, it's a bit different for our generation, but it's definitely a big step. It's definitely a big step to be to commit to somebody, you know. But again, it's just the grace of God getting you there as well, you know, and having to sort of determine in your mind that, yo, this is the person I'm willing to spend my whole life with, you know. And again, having that great person to kind of make that choice easy as well. You know, so you don't have to be like, oh my gosh, you know, this person makes it easy by just the way they are and how they make you feel and how, you know, and the things that they do, man, you know. So yeah, man, it's just prayer and asking God for strength to be committed. I feel sometimes it's a fear of commitment that us as men sometimes have, you know, being afraid of, you know, how long would I last in this, or you know, do I want to take this step, you know. Definitely. It's one of those things, but I feel like we can be committed to other things. We can be committed into our favorite football club, you know.
Yeah.
You can be diehard fans of our favorite football club. When it comes to certain other talks, we're like, nah, I can't be committed to that. And it's like what you said before, man. It's like what you said before. It's like, it's the level of conviction and the level of, you know, growth, you know, and really not only allowing your body to grow, but your mind to grow as well. You know, to really feel like, you know what, yeah, there's certain things you can't do anymore. There's certain things that you need to adapt to. There's certain things that you need to kind of, and again, marriage is not for everyone. I'm not saying like everyone should get married or, you know, that's not the case. But, you know, if you desire to do so, then why not, man? Yeah.
So obviously from, you know, what you just said about marriage is not for everyone. First of all, how long have you been married now?
2 years though.
3 or 2?
2 years. 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah. And how is it going for you so far?
Yeah, it's going alright, bro. It's the first 2 years, isn't it? Nah,
honeymoon period.
It's going great by the grace of God, man. The first thing, you know what it is? It's like sometimes you hear people like, I've been married for 30 years. You're like, rah, how's 30 years do it? They're like, oh, you see.
Okay, obviously you've said one or two things, which is like an advice to, you know, how people can go about it. You know, how you know, if you want to settle down, how you can go about it. But this is one of the questions that I wanted to ask as well, you know, in terms of advice to other people like, you know, myself, who might be looking to, you know, settle down or would like to settle down at some point in the future, or, you know, anytime soon. You know, how would you summarize your experience, you know, in terms of the advice that you can give them, which basically you've touched on it, but just, you know, I want you to try and summarize it one more time and, you know, just, you know, give us the, you know, the advice.
I mean, the simple advice that I can give is, you know, good people are rare to find. You know, good partners, good people are rare to find. And you know, if you have somebody in your life, or you know, you're around somebody that you value and you respect, and you know, they show you what you're looking for. You've got a criteria. Like everyone has a criteria and a preference. You know, everyone's. But the most important part, it's not the physical aspect. I know it's been said a lot of times, but it's true. You got to think. You got deeper more than that. Like, okay, what is it about this person that, you know? Like, for example, like me and my wife, right? It's funny. I always say that to her because I'm into lyrics and I like writing, right? And I'm into metaphors, and you know, I'll spray a metaphor to my wife, and my wife will get it straight away, and we'll laugh about it, we'll talk about it. And for me, that's deep for me. Like wow, that's like, oh, she gets that, you know.
Okay.
And then it's just that connection you have with somebody, you know. And it's the little things like that you can't take for granted, you know. And you kind of have to see, you know, do you place this person? Can you see this person in your life in the long term?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and it's not so much as, you know, how well do they look now, or how fit do they look? Are they physique? You know what I mean? It's my wife made me skinny as hell.
But knowing you,
I
said knowing you.
Hey?
I said knowing you. You said about how fit they are, but knowing you.
Yeah. Nah, bro, it's not about that, G. No. It has to be more than that, bro. Because the thing is, somebody said this. Somebody said, you know, there's always going to be somebody who's more pretty than your wife, or more handsome than your husband. So there's always going to be a point where that's not going to be it.
Yeah,
but not everyone's going to get your joke. So not everyone's going to be, you know, get that inside joke. Or not everyone's going to have that thing that you like. Or not everyone's going to say things a certain way. You know what I mean? So it's that factor. And I feel like once you've got that with somebody, you know, really take that on board. Don't take that person for granted, you know, and just be. And most of the time, I feel like it's us men, bro. Like I feel like we fear it so much. We fear the commitment side so much because we overthink it. You know, we really overthink it. I mean, like back in the day, you know, now you get this thing where people are like, oh, you know, you have to be at a certain level financially where, you know, you got this, you got that. And reality back in the day, people just had, you know, a vision. They wanted to get here, and maybe they didn't have all that financial things, but they pulled through, and people go on to like 80 years and 90 years married and so forth and so on, you know. And it's about getting there together, you know. It's weird when you meet somebody at the top of the mountain, you know that one.
Yeah, definitely.
You see, there's nothing wrong. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But the journey's more memorable when you've done it together. You see what I'm saying? So,
I can imagine. Yeah, definitely. So somebody said in a comment, "Don't do it." Somebody said I should ask you how you met your wife. So how did you guys meet?
That's a good one, bro. So I met at a club.
Whoa.
Right? Yeah. I'll tell you the story. This is mad. So I met at a club. And I was talking to her friend. I didn't even know her. I didn't even know who she was. And I was talking to a friend. And and then I just saw her, and everything just went. Obviously, the club was already dark, but everything just went darker.
Was this back in uni?
Nah, well, yeah, it was back in uni. I think it was like my second year of uni. Yeah, second year of uni. And everything just, and she just lit up, like literally just lit up, bro. It was just her, and that's it. And I just want to talk to her the whole day. And the funny thing is, it wasn't even like I'm trying to move to her, like all that kind of stuff. It was just literally just want to know who this person is. And from getting to know her, like literally that same day, I realized she's into music, and we're just rapping together. Like we even came out the club, we just rapping, all that kind of stuff. And I didn't see her after that for like 2 months.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I didn't see her after that for like 2 months. And then when I saw her again, I was like, oh no, not this time, bro. So I need let me take you out, right? Hey, let's go somewhere.
What was your first word, or you know, what did you say to her to basically get her attention? How did you speak to her?
On the first encounter, or the first encounter, I just said, "Hi, I'm John Bernard. Nice to meet you." That's it.
Straightforward.
That's what was I gonna say, bro? What was I gonna say, man? I'm not. You know what? My game's not even like that, my bro. I haven't got any punchlines, or I'm an old gentleman at heart, bro.
No games.
No games, bro. Straight to the.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that with us. So you said you've got a kid. How many have you got?
2, bro. 2.
Oh wow.
2, yeah. 2 with a great
male, female?
Boy and a girl.
Oh wow, that's great. Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you, my bro. Thank
you. I've got a question at the bottom, but I'm probably going to go back to that at the end. It's about what you said about conviction. So I'm going to go back to that at the end. So talk to me. You're currently working with people within the community, most especially young people, children and all that. What led you into that?
So what led into that, bro, it's really my experiences in life, bro. I was at this point where obviously because I don't know if, so a bit about my story, like I was orphaned at the age of 11. So I moved from Southeast London to Coventry, and it was me and my sister. My sister raised me up, basically. So But during my teenage years, by the time I was like 14, 15, I already had cases. I was youth offending, all this kind of stuff, all that jazz. And, you know, if you were to predict the outcome, it was either two things, you know, whether it were prison or, you know, this person's going to be killed by this or do something stupid. And it was that, bro. And luckily, by the grace of God, you know, having God in my life and changing my mindset really helped and gave me a different perspective of life. So after realizing that, yo, this is not it, bro, I need to do more, you know, and going to university, ended up getting a grad scheme job, ended up working my way up. And every time I drove back to my old area, you know, and I was hearing things about some of the young kids that I've seen grow up doing stupid stuff, and I was like, right, this is just gonna replay and replay and replay till something bad happens. And I was like, what can I do? And I remember like a sister of mine called Joelle, she had like an engagement at a school, and she's like, bro, calm down, do a little spoken word, you know, it'll be great. And I was like, you know what, let's do it. And when I did it, bro, like I knew that was it. I knew that's what I was meant to do. You know, I knew that was exactly what I wanted to do. And, you know, just from the response from the young people that I was working with and those that heard the spoken word that day, I was like, this is it, man. And yeah, and I never looked back. Ended up, you know, handing in my my notice, started a social enterprise, and just been working with young people ever since.
So you handed in your notice from work and
handed in my notice, man.
Not coming back.
Not coming back because basically, bro, it was crazy because when I went back after that, and I was in the office and I was sitting down and like I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, like how long can you do this for, you know, until you get to the point where you regret and you're like, I should have done this, I should have done that. You know, like how long can you kind of withhold your purpose, you know, when the time is now? And I just felt in my heart that the time was now, you know. And it was one of those things. It was a scary moment, man. It was a really scary moment because you kind of are fearful of the outcome. But I was like, you know what, God, like this is from you. It's gonna work. And if it's not,
definitely.
I'm young. I gotta go. I just gotta do it.
Definitely.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
So I just did it, and God's been gracious, like from the outset, from the first step till now, my bro. So yeah.
Wow, that's great. Because you know, like I honestly did not know, you know, that part about your life, you know, the whole having to move down to, you know, Coventry from, you know, London, and, you know, you being all that, you know, what you just said. I really, you know, I mean, we pretty much grew up together.
Not a lot of people knew, bro.
Huh?
Not a lot of people knew. It wasn't something that I like to talk about because
yeah.
You know,
so
it's
I can imagine it being quite tough, right? You know, growing up and all that. Somebody said 2 kids in 2 years. Wayne Rooney. So you're a baller.
No. I had my little girl. My little girl's turning 4 this year, man. So I had her 3-4 years ago. Yeah, and then my little boy, he's turning 1 this month. So by the grace of God, man. So yeah, man.
Oh wow.
Need a hat trick though. That's what I'm
you need a hat trick, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Before I go into the next question, for everyone that has joined us so far, and you know, people that, you know, are watching us, please do share the link with your friends and family. You know, people want me to share the link, but I can't be going back and forth in the middle of interview and discussion. So please do share the link. And if you have any question for Mr. Bernard, please do type it in the comment or in the question box, and then we will ask him the questions at the end, and it can answer all your questions. Thank you very much, guys. So moving on. So you said you started your own social enterprise called Base.
Base, that's it, yeah.
Tell us more about this. What do you stand for? What does Base, you know, stand for?
So Base is an acronym for Be a Change Everywhere. And what we try to do is we try to utilize the art form of spoken word poetry to engage young people from vulnerable situations. And by vulnerable, I'm talking about, you know, young people who are growing up in areas where it's not their fault sometimes what they get into, is because what they see on a day-to-day basis. You know, and I always use this analogy, you know, if you wake up in the morning and, you know, you come out your door and the first thing you see is, you know, somebody who's an alcoholic, somebody who's battling with drugs, somebody, you know, who's selling drugs. Before you even get to school, your mind is already contaminated with life. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So it's all you see. And I always say sometimes it's hard for you to become what you don't see. You know,
Mm.
so and that's what base is about. Base is really about just trying to get young people to unravel their potential. That, you know, we're like a reminder that you've got something special, you know, and we're here to kind of help you to push that and help you to be provided with a platform to do that, whether it's, you know, poetry, whether it's music, whether it's drama, whether it's, you know, writing, you know, that sort of thing. So yeah.
Definitely. That's great. That's great. So you said, pardon me. You said earlier that, you know, the moment you did your first ever spoken words, you knew that, you know, that's what you wanted to do, and, you know, you went back to your office to give in your, you know, resignation letter. I think that's brave. But, you know, what are the challenges that you faced along the way from that moment you took, you know, you took that step to move forward, and the moment you started your own enterprise? What are the challenges that, you know, you faced along the way?
Uncertainty. Uncertainty is probably one of the biggest challenges you could face when you kind of like when you delved into like something, you know, the unknown, you know, and yeah, uncertainty is definitely a hard challenge, because that kind of bursts out fear, bursts out sometimes a lack of confidence. You know, did you make the right step? You know, is this right? And of course, I've got a family as well, so financially, what does that mean? You know, so what it offers you, I think every challenge offers you the opportunity to grow, to become better, to get stronger, to understand, you know, how to overcome things as well. So I think that's what I learned with the challenges. And sometimes it was, you know, closed doors where, you know, you pitch your idea to a school, you pitch your idea to, you know, like a public service, and they might be like, nah, it doesn't work that way. And then just as you come out, you meet somebody who, you know, has heard of you or who likes what you do, and they pick you up and say, you know what, no, I've got this coming up. I'd love you to jump on this. And from you just jumping on that, you know, that gives you your next opportunity. And what I learned was, for me, like, it was just say yes, man. Like, yes, just say yes. Can you do it? Yes. Can you do it tomorrow? Yeah, I can do it tomorrow. You know, can you do it next week? Yeah. Have you got a plan for this? Yes, I do. You know what I mean? Like, just take it. You know, it was one of those things. Sometimes school will be like, okay, yeah, can you do tomorrow? Yeah, can you do 2 assemblies? I can do 3 if you want me to. You know, like, yeah, I'm down. This is, and I feel like when it's in the area of your gift, and it's in the area of like what you love to do, yeah, say yes, man. Like, you do it. You know, like, it's fun. It doesn't. Yeah, it feels like work sometimes, but most of the time, it's like, yeah, man, it's you're doing something. You know, so yeah.
Definitely, that's great. So you mentioned about, you know, anxiety being, you know, something that one of the challenges you faced along the way. How would you say you've dealt with that?
Do you know what? It's one of those things where you just do it. That's the way I've dealt with it. I always kind of remind myself, like, of certain scriptures that kind of aid, like, that help me in certain situations. Like, one of them is, be anxious for nothing, but in turns, you know, be thankful, be, you know, with prayer and supplication, offer your requests, make your request be made known to the Lord. And, or, you know, the Lord is my light and my salvation, you know, or, you know, commit everything into the Lord, and you should direct your path. So these things, it's like, I say, God, you know what? This is you. You give me this gift. So however you want to use it, you're not going to fail me. I'm going to go with it. I feel scared as heck right now. There's times where, bro, I'm not going to lie. People sometimes wonder, like, bro, I never see you get nervous or like, you just go in there, you go in there. But I tell them, you never see the battle before I get on stage. You know, you never see the battle before, you know, John Bernard, you're up. You never see the battle, because in your mind, it's like, you know, what's going to happen? What am I going to say? Like this and that. But then it's kind of like, you know what? Hey, this is a gift that I have. This is what I want to do. This is my message. You know, somebody's got to hear it, you know, and the message is bigger than my fear. You know, it's bigger than my nerves. It's bigger than me feeling like I can't do it. You know, see how I go and do it. Somebody needs to hear it. And there's times where, you know, we've had assemblies, and I knew that, the message is deeper than me. You know, when I had teenage boys coming up to me and they were crying, bro. Like, they were saying, bro, you touched my heart, and, you know, I'm going through this. And I knew, if you get teenage boys to cry, it's either you punch them in the face or, like, it's something deep. You know what I mean? Like, not teenage boys be crying. And I knew the message is deep. The message, I have to give a message. I have to be out there to do what I'm doing, you know, and it makes it worthwhile. So sometimes when I feel like, oh, man, I can't do this, or this is hard, I'm reminded of those boys. I'm reminded of, the young women and men I'm going to meet later on as well, who need to hear me, who need to say, you know, to hear that, you know, it's possible. You can come from a background where you've been orphaned. You can come from nothing. You can go through hardship, but there's more to life. You know, there's much more for you. You know, so it's yeah, man. When the nerves hit, it's deeper than the nerves, bro. It's the message is more powerful than that. You know,
Definitely,
so that's how I see it. Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
So, what has been your biggest successes in this, you know, on this journey so far?
My family, bro. My family, bro.
That's great.
Yeah, man. Definitely, man.
That's great.
Like that's I was saying, you know, aside from death being a great motivator, the next great motivator is your family, man, bro. Like just understanding that, yo, there's a legacy to leave behind. There's people who are looking up to you, and there's people who are. My wife is walking alongside me, and you know, there's levels to it now. So definitely, they're my greatest achievement, man. Like nothing. Even man, if man wins an Oscar or Grammy tomorrow, nothing. Nah. At the end of the day, they see like me working till late, trying to, you know, script up a program. They see me writing, you know, working till late, writing poetry. They see me do this. They make me the coffees. They give me the hugs. They push me forward. They say I can do it. You know, it's those things that people don't see in the background that make the biggest sort of what's the word for it? The biggest sort of the biggest push for you. You know, yeah, man. So yeah, my family, my bro. Yeah.
Great, that's really great, because family is very important. They're very, very important. So you talk about writing, you know, I know that you write music and you write your own poet. Should we be expecting a book from Mr. Bernard?
Bro, one day, man, put it into existence. You spoke it now. Hey, man, you spoke it now, bro. Do you know what? It's one of those things that I've always wanted to do. And I hope, you know, God, will be a time for that as well to happen, you know. And at the moment, I've really been focusing on obviously spoken word and music and releasing stuff, and just pushing stuff out there and making sure, you know, the content's being released. So one day, hopefully, man, I'd love to get into, you know, writing a book or writing books. Yes. And yeah, man, yeah, definitely. I'd love to.
With regards to, I wasn't sure if you were you
No,
finished?
that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'd love to, man. Yeah.
So with regards to your music, where can people, you know, listen to your music? Do you have a YouTube page? What's your YouTube name? And
yeah, guys, listen. I've got a lot of stuff out on YouTube. So my name's John Bernard. So if you type in John Bernard, I've released a bunch of poems like throughout lockdown. So you can listen to that. I've got a song called Day One that's out. That's out on iTunes as well. I've got a poem which I've recently released on iTunes and Spotify and everything else. So, you know, catch it on there. And I've got more stuff coming out as well. You know, I've got more stuff coming out, and it's just in due time. Yeah, man. So, yeah.
Somebody in the comment section said, "Are you based in Coventry?"
I am. Yes, I am based in Coventry. Yes.
Lovely. Okay. Before I go into the next question, I'm just gonna see if we've got any comment in terms of question in the comment section. Somebody said, respect, Brother John. Okay, so what should we be expecting in the next, you know, few years for yourself? What are you have you got anything that you're working on at the moment in terms of, you know, where do you see yourself in the next, you know, few years or 5 years time? You know, where do you see your enterprise?
Yeah, do you know what? Honestly, I hope and I see myself as, you know, being a household name in the spoken word scene in the country. Like when you think about spoken word, you have to think about John Bernard. Like, right, this shit. Yeah, I hope that, man. You know, so yeah, that I hope to have, you know, base at a national level where we're working with different people and different young people in different parts of the country, and to also, you know, have a lot more volunteers and also have, you know, workers as well, you know, to carry on pushing the message across, and to hopefully also have, you know, mentees who are coming up in the poetry scene and, you know, from the city that I can help out, that I can push and hopefully provide a platform for, you know. So that's my hope.
Okay, so somebody said, are you involved in any City of Culture events?
Yes, I am. We just won a tender to run the spoken word segment of Youthful Cities. So we're going to be running the spoken word workshops for City of Culture. So in fact, if anyone's interested, we've got a workshop on the 18th. So make sure you jump on that.
That's great. And that's going to be in Coventry, right?
That's going to be in Coventry, yeah.
That's going to be in Coventry.
Well, it's going to be online. It's going to be online because obviously of COVID. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah. Makes sense. Okay, so well, I'm getting a lot of questions there. So we might as well just do questions now. So somebody said, how do you deal with negative feedbacks?
How do you deal with negative feedback? You know, we need negative feedback, man. We need it. I always say if you're around like my team and like those I work with, they know how like, what's the word for it? How critical I am of myself, first of all, when I'm recording, in my speech, when I'm doing stuff. Like, I never ask you if, oh, was that great? I always ask you to tell me, like, you know, what part sucked or what part can I redo? Do you think that was, you know what I mean? Because you need that. You definitely need negative feedback because, and there's a difference as well, man. There's negative feedback which comes from a wicked heart where people are like, oh my days, you know, I don't like you, or it's one of those things where I'm jealous of where you are, therefore I'm just gonna give you that negative feedback for the sake of it. And there's negative feedback which is constructive, which is people that love you and know your potential and they want you to get there. So they'll tell you, you know what, nah, that didn't pattern up right. Like that part there you need to improve on, you know. Or when you said this, yeah, I don't know about that, I'm not too sure. You know, you need those people because then you can go back in your lab or whatever you do and say, you know what, let me just refine this because I need to get better. You know, so what, you know, however negative feedback looks, you know, you just gotta take it. And the positive, take the positive, but don't dwell on the positive. Don't dwell on the positive too much. In terms of, you know, you can kill a show. There's times where I've sucked on a show, my bro. Like there's times where a man got up on stage and forgot like half of the lyrics. I'm like, sucked, right? And
that's not a good one, is it?
Bro, cold. You're driving back home, you don't want to speak to anybody, you're like, flip's sake, man. You know, and those times are hard, and there's times where you smash the show, and everyone's giving you the best of feedback. You know, the times where you come out the stage, everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, you're amazing!" Ha ha ha, and you're feeling elated. You're like, "Yes," but those moments are great, but it's on to the next one. I say, like, okay, I've done that. Thank God, like, I smashed that. Okay, what's next? Because if you start dwelling on these little moments, right, then it's like you've arrived. Oh yeah, I'm chilling now. Oh, it's great. There's nothing more. You know, when there's a whole lot of other mountains to climb. So, yeah, that's how I deep it. But yeah.
That's great. That's great. Thank you very much for that insight. So somebody said, well, I think this is similar to, you know, the negative feedbacks. It says, how do you deal with setbacks?
How do you deal with setbacks?
Yes.
I would say that there's always a reason behind the setback, you know, and it's your duty to kind of figure out what that reason is. You know, there's been the times where, you know, I've applied for certain things and to be put in certain positions and opportunities, but it didn't work out that way, right? And at that time, you kind of get that rejection and you feel like, oh man, like this is taking a mick. Like, why am I not getting this opportunity? Not realizing there's something else, which is where you're meant to be, basically. Right. But what we shouldn't do, and I know sometimes it's easier said than done, is to kind of put our foot off the gas when we receive that rejection. You know, when we receive that rejection, it's kind of like you get to a dead end. Yo, turn the right. If there's a right, turn the right. You know, and then take another route. You know, don't just stop on that dead end and just like, you know, and just sulk at that dead end. Like why this, why that? Nah, find an alternative. You know, because setback, you're gonna get rejection. We're gonna get, you know, hit in the face and. You know, we're going to get to that point where it's like, oh, there's a no here or this and that, but there's always an alternative route. There's always something else. There's always another platform. There's always another opportunity, you know, and if there isn't, you have to create an opportunity for yourself, you know. Yeah, I was speaking to a friend of mine. He's in the arts. And, you know, before lockdown, he was getting a lot of work in like advertisement and, you know, short films and so forth and so on. And he got this big role where, you know, the short film was meant to go on Netflix, and then because of COVID, everything came to a halt. And he sulked for a bit, but then he realized, like, right, I need to get on with it. you know, and he kind of took that on board and said, you know what, why can't I create my own short films? And now he's writing his own stuff. So it's like, what do you do with that setback? And sometimes it might look like a setback, but it might be, depending on how you view it, a trampoline to something bigger, or to something more towards where you should be, you know. So
blessing guys. Yeah, that's great. Thank you very much. Somebody said, if you could tell, and quickly because it's gonna be an hour soon, if you could tell your 10-year-old self something, what would it be?
My 10-year-old self. If it's my 10-year-old self, I'll say value your mom. You know, if it's my 10-year-old self, yeah, I'll say value your mom. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's what I'll say for my 10-year-old self. Yeah, man.
That's great.
Yeah.
Someone said, how can you be contacted to book for performances?
To book performances. So I've got my manager. So my manager is actually.
I'll be your manager.
Yeah. So you can just DM me and I can send you his details, and then we can take it from there.
So you guys can contact him on his page. If you go on his Instagram and follow him, and you know, just DM him with, you know, whatever it is that you want to, you know, book him for. I'll be taking 10% from him of the payment. Okay, so quickly, before we go into the next one, people are, you know, coming with different questions. So this question says, how do you find the conviction and passion to write and speak about variety of subjects in your poems?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. And again, it goes back to what Nina Simone said. As an artist, your duty is to reflect the times. And I always say to people, I can't really write for the sake of writing. You know, something has to kind of touch me, man. Like, you know, if you listen to all my poems, there's a message behind them, you know, and there's something I'm highlighting, there's something I'm talking about, maybe a solution, maybe an issue, you know, and you know, as an artist, I think that's your duty. And most important of all as well, it's you know, I always, because the times that we're in are so difficult. It's like, what can you offer to kind of aid the pain of in the world at the moment? You know, we've got issues with mental health, we've got issues with racism, we've got issues with, you know, domestic violence, we've got issues with, you know, youth violence. There's so many things going on. COVID. You know, what can we do as artists, as creatives, that can just help aid that those issues, you know? And I feel like everyone, you know, everyone has an issue that they care about, you know, and nobody has to kind of push you to be passionate about something. Like, people care, you know, some people care about, you know, being a vegan, and they'll go 100% into being a vegan because they care about animals. You see what I'm saying? And they'll go 100%, and then, so, you know, rightly so, because that's their passion, that's their conviction, that's what they have, you know. And I always feel like, you know, utilize those convictions and your passion, you know. So, you know, when you're putting your words together, when you're whatever you're doing, you're almost being fueled by that thing, you know. And no one can buy a passion, but you can't buy a passion. You can't. You know, you can try to pretend talking about a matter in a passionate way, but you can't really buy a passion, you know. So it's just seeing what you're passionate about, you know, and utilizing that to fuel you to write or to do whatever you want to do.
That's great. So someone said, what would you say was your best investment in your whole career so far?
Best investment in my whole career so far? Investing in myself, man. Investing in myself daily, whether it's physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, like making sure that I'm up to scratch. If you're not up to scratch, then your whole work will be up to scratch. If I'm not able to function, then it's not going to function, you know. So being able to kind of, and this comes from understanding my weaknesses as well, you know. So knowing that, okay, right, I'm weak in this area, you know, how can I improve in this area? And people know, like, I like to talk to a lot of people. I like to ask a lot of questions. If I see I'm weak in the area and I see, like, oh, this sister here, or this brother here is like really good in this, I'll holler. I have no issues, no pride in saying, yo, you were sick of this. How did you get to that point? You know, like, one of my brothers is an amazing speaker, you know. And I speak to him, I'm like, bro, how'd you get to this point? You know, and he's a great motivator. And I sit down and, you know, we have one-to-ones, and it's cool. Like, you know, he's schooling me in a situation or in a thing that he knows, you know. So, and I feel like we all have to get to that point. Don't have any pride in asking for help. If you know somebody where you want to be, or they're good at something that you want to be good at, holler, you know,
Definitely.
holler at them. So yeah,
That's great. Okay, so somebody say you can't buy passion bars. Okay.
yeah.
Someone asked a question. How do you balance your life with your family? Oh, we're having a technical issue here. Bear with us, guys. Bear with us.
Are we off?
Hello. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. Can you hear me?
Lovely. So the question was, how do you balance your work life and sorry, how do you balance your family, your life with family? So I'm guessing that means, you know, your work life and your family. How do you balance it together?
Pray for me, guys. I need help in that area, man. Like, yo, trust me, man. Trust me. Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. I need help in that area, man. Like,
It's challenging, is
it's
it?
challenging, man. People that know me, like, yo, sometimes I feel like, John, man, chill out, bro. You know, just stay at home, bro. Just, yo, bro, the way my mind works, I'm up and going, like, I'm doing stuff. I could be up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., I'm doing stuff. You know, my wife's like, yo, okay, that's enough, babe. Like, come on, chill out, you know. And I feel like probably for me, like, lockdown's been a point where, like, okay, you need to relax now, man. Just chill out. And even then, I'm still doing stuff, but stuff within the law. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
No, definitely understand.
yeah, but it's, pray for me, work-life balance, man. I feel, definitely. And it's
Guys,
important.
please,
It's so important. So important.
it is very important.
Yeah.
So guys, please pray for our brother John. We need your prayer, please. Keep it fast, pray, do whatever you want to do for him.
Pray for me in that area, man. Work-life balance, man. Yes.
I can imagine it can be very tough, especially in this period of time as well, you know. It can be tough. So wow, those are great questions. Thank you very much, guys, for, you know, all the questions. If you've got more questions, please do type them in. That's really good. Really appreciate that. So before we go into the last and final question, we're gonna go into a particular part, which is a segment that I called on the spot. So obviously from the spot, you know what to expect, innit? So
Hey.
I was trying to be professional, but I was like, innit?
Yeah. Oh, I see you, bro.
That's me.
Trevor McDonald and that. Okay, Jim.
Yeah.
All right then.
So what I want you to do, obviously, going into the new week, I want you to do, you know, a quick spoken words for us, you know, to encourage, you know, the viewers, you know, to go into the new week with.
Boy, you got me on the spot for real, man.
On the spot.
On the spot for real, man, bro.
On the spot.
So, what, just to do a spoken word?
Anything that comes to your heart, you know, just to encourage people to get into the week with.
Okay. Do you know what? I'll drop this one. And it's, you know, we can achieve the unachievable, you know, regardless of past mistakes, because there can only be one you. So do not stop to emulate, because there are too many syndicates of mediocre lies, but your heart's always speaking, and you're the open mic. So amplify clearly the desires that cease to decline, because most of the time what we're called to become is what consistently disturbs our minds. So I'll leave you with that. And that's just basically to say that, you know, listen to your heart, listen to your mind, listen to what you're called to do. You know, sometimes we stay away from our calling and our gifts, and we feel like, you know, we don't need to do them anymore because we're older now. But sometimes, you know, listen to what your heart's saying to you, man. Like, if your heart's telling you to write about some stuff, write about some stuff. If your heart's telling you to change this dream that you had when you were 10, sometimes you meant to just do that, man. But yeah, and just go hard, man.
Thank you very much for that. I felt that. I definitely felt that. And I'm sure everyone felt it too. So finally, Mr. Bernard.
Yeah.
For the people who may be interested, for the people interested in, you know, what you're doing, maybe joining your team, you know, your enterprise base, or, you know, just interested in community work, where can they find, or where can they go to find more information on this?
Yeah, so, you know, if you're interested in the base side of things, you know, we've got base of social media. Our website will be up and running by the end of the month as well. So you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, so on. Send us a message. Let us know what you're interested in. We're always looking for creatives to help out. whether it's creators who do photography, videography, poets, you know, writers. We're always looking for help and volunteers in that sense. Sorry?
What's the name on Facebook, sorry?
Base. So it's BACE. Yeah. Yeah, it's on my page as well. It's on my Instagram page as well. Yeah, and just connect if you're looking for the music side of things, what I'm doing, the poetry as well. You know, come with me on a journey. You know, connect with me. You know, send me your messages. Listen to my stuff. DM me what you think. And yeah, man, let's go.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. It's been a pleasure having you on this platform. Thank you very much once again for joining us, Mr. Bernard. Guys, please help me thank Mr. Bernard for joining us today. God bless you, and hopefully we'll get to see you soon. Okay. And a big thank you to you fans, you know, for joining us today. It's been a lovely, lovely session today. I really enjoyed myself. So yeah, thank you for joining us once more, Mr. Bernard. God bless
you, my bro. God bless you too, man.
Have a lovely week.
You too, my bro. Bless.
Thank you. Cheers. So, guys, thank you very much for joining us one more time. You know, I'm your host, Abby, aka SBM. Next week, well, in 2 weeks' time, we'll be having somebody else come up on, you know, on the platform to, you know, share their experience and their passion. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys soon in the next 2 weeks. God bless. Take care, guys. Peace and love. Okay, I need to try and close this down. Guys, before I go, if you've got any question, any further question, please comment below. This video is going to be saved on my page, and it's going to go on my YouTube page as well, which is SBM_Ents. So please put your any question that you may have, put it underneath the comment section, and I'm going to get John to Mr. Bernard to answer them, and hopefully you guys can catch up on it. And if you've, you know, missed today's session, please, like I said, it's going to be on a platform on my page, on my Instagram page, and on my YouTube page, so you can always catch up on it. And please, please, please share this video with your people, your family, your friends, your enemies. Please share this video. Let's get it out there. The purpose of this show is to be able to, for people to learn, you know, and to be able to reach out to people who may be willing to start one thing or the other, but don't know how to go about it. That's the whole purpose of this video. So please share it to people that you think might, you know, need to hear this. Thank you very much one more time. Stay blessed, stay safe, stay away from corona, social distancing and that. God bless you. Take care.